Hey guys, I just wanted to say that this episode tonight is kind of an amazing opportunity. Because how many people get to say whatever they want on a podcast about Jason fucking Voorhees, right?
Oh boy.
I mean, you know what I'd like to do to this movie? I'd like to take a crap right on the fucking print, right on every single fucking copy. I'm gonna take a big old mango-sized crap while we talk about Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday on B Movie Mania.
Welcome to the crossroads of camp, the bastion of the bizarre, the place where low budgets meet high praise. Yes, it's B-Movie Mania. And now, B-Movie Maniacs, here are your hosts, the cream of the crap, the connoisseurs of cult, your cinematic creepy uncles, Paul Brooks, Mike Hayes, Jason Huls, and Crazy Chris Hutson.
Like back in nightmares, revenge his mother swears. Through a faceless hockey mask, the demon's eyes they stare.
Just hit the tone, like we've never done that before. The tone that starts the episodes.
Welcome to B Movie Mania, everyone. I'm tonight's host, Crazy Chris Hutson, and with me tonight is Jason Huls.
Yes, I'd like a Voorhees burger with a side of Jason fingers, please.
Paul A. Brooks.
Oh, please, Chris, call me Tony the Wonder Llama.
And Michael P.S. Hayes.
How you doing, you fat-ass, maggoty, blown-up fuck?
All quotes. Listeners, those are all quotes from the film.
I would have swore we were all gonna do the scene I did, and Chris did.
I thought about it.
Like, I have it all typed out, and I was like, should I just tell them that whoever goes first says the first one? Because there's three good ones in there. We could have just
There's a lot
done
of good ones.
I actually wanted to do it, Mike, and I just got too lazy to type all it. So I
That's fair.
just did Tony the Wonder Llama.
Fucking, that's disgusting.
My backup one was, Chris, that part about making a good B-Movie Mania episode. Does the movie have to be good?
No. So what movie did we watch, guys? I know I said it in the intro.
The Final Friday.
Jason Goes to Hell.
Yes, definitely Jason Goes to Hell. The Final Friday, depending on whether or not you're looking at like the actual movie or the DVD cover, because it doesn't say the Final Friday on any of the DVDs or whatever, because obviously it's not the Final Friday.
That may be true, Paul, but every other movie post to this takes place not on a Friday.
Well, Jason X takes place in Space Friday.
What if that was true? There's no Fridays in space.
That sounds like a good tagline for a movie.
Different calendar, you know?
No, it'd be like, in space, every day's a Friday.
TGIF.
In my professional opinion, this guy's dead in shit. Strike that last comment from the record.
So Jason Goes to Hell, which is not actually a Friday the 13th movie, was directed by Adam Marcus and stars John D. LeMay, Carrie? Is it Carrie or Kari?
It's Carrie.
Carrie or Kari Keegan, and Kane Hodder as the titular Friday the 13th, Jason Goes to Hell.
I was going to say John LeMay, I learned went to ISU, Illinois State University.
Yeah. Some of us went to ISU.
Just a couple miles down the road from where Paul is right now.
What's ISU?
It also features Stephen Williams as one of my favorite cinematic characters, Creighton Duke.
One of your favorite cinematic characters just in general?
In general, he's great.
Wow.
My personal favorite cinematic character is Slade Creighton Duke.
Now we need a Slade Creighton Duke t-shirt.
Get that on our store now. Great design, Paul.
No, absolutely not.
For the first time ever, our cameras were allowed a glimpse of the private training compound of bounty hunter Creighton Duke. Duke invited us with the promise of a very unusual, very expensive proposition. And I think you'll agree, in typical Creighton Duke fashion, he gave us much more than we bargained for.
Chris, now you watched the show. How many films of Friday the 13th had you seen prior to this one?
Well, prior to the first time I've ever seen this movie, or prior to this time seeing this movie?
Well, let's say the first time.
Well, Jason X wasn't out yet. This movie was the latest one at the time, I believe. I think I'd seen 2.
Are you saying that at the time this movie came out, it was the most recent Jason movie?
Yeah.
Is that what we're saying?
That's what we're saying, yes. It was 1996.
Does that answer your question, Jay?
This was the first Friday the 13th movie I ever saw.
Mm-hmm.
This one?
Which is a weird place to enter the franchise.
That's a little surprising.
This one was the first Friday the 13th I ever saw. I've seen them all since, but...
I still haven't. I've seen Jason X and...
Same. Well, holy shit. We're the same.
That's very strange. You guys are losing some horror cred right now.
Fucking don't care. Wow.
How about you, Paul? What's your history with the Friday the 13th franchise?
You know, I guess honestly, it might be similar, but I definitely have seen all of them since. I went through I think all of them were on Hulu or something like maybe 5 years ago, and I just live tweeted every single one of them. So I have seen all of them, although I'm definitely not like a huge Friday the 13th buff or anything.
You know, I'll go so far as to say this one is a lot better if you haven't seen any of the other ones.
Well, that's not saying much.
Well, I was disappointed because I have seen Jason X, and Jason X is a buck wild fun ride.
Correct.
And then Jason Goes to Hell. Well, you're going to find out.
Buck mild fun ride.
Well, that sounds like a really great intro into Quick Takes.
Quick takes.
Paul, what's your quick take on Jason Goes to Hell?
Chris, let me first take this opportunity to apologize to you for accidentally reviewing this movie on tonight's double feature. I promised on the first episode of the show, it's a YouTube show that I do, listeners, in case you haven't checked it out yet. Go to our YouTube channel. We'll put a link down below on the website. Go check out, it's a little thing that I do. But on the first episode, I said, I'm going to try to review movies that we normally wouldn't review on the podcast. And the second episode I did was Jason Goes to Hell, and Chris goes, God damn it, Paul.
Wow. You have picked some movies we wouldn't review, and it's a fun little mix of stuff. And I think that's great.
Well, thank you. Honestly, it was just that I looked at the calendar and I saw that we just had a Friday the 13th recently. Like that episode came out on a Friday the 13th.
That was the most recent Friday the 13th for you?
No, I'm saying the actual date. You know what I'm saying.
But do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I guess that's my quick take.
So, Paul, what you're saying is on a Friday the 13th, you decided to review 2 movies that aren't technically Friday the 13th movies.
I don't know, Chris, what they lost the rights or something, and then New Line borrowed the rights to the Jason Voorhees character or whatever. But the reason that you don't have Friday the 13th in the title of either Jason Goes to Hell or Jason X, or I think even Freddy vs. Jason, is because they don't own the rights to that title. Is that about right?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Mike Hayes.
This explanation makes a lot of sense about the copyright stuff, because obviously they were also kind of bored with not that I've seen them, but I'm just assuming they were bored with how it was going with the franchise. So they said, let's take all the different tropes from all the other movies we love and try to do something, make this hodgepodge of an interesting film. And did they succeed? We'll find out.
Mike, you were absolutely right. That is exactly what they did when making this movie. They said that director thought, there's no way people want to see Jason chopping up campers anymore.
Wait, Jay, is this your quick take?
No.
Okay.
That's it. I'm just confirming what Mike's theory was. That's all.
Got it.
All right. Sounds good.
All right.
Jason Holes.
Well, I think you're going to like this movie a lot more if you've never seen another Friday the 13th movie.
You already said that.
Yep. And I realized when I said it, it makes the perfect quick take.
Okay.
Chris, I just remembered my actual quick take. Can I have one more? Thank you. Hey, guys, the last time that Chris hosted an episode 15, it was for No Holds Barred. But I'm thinking that in this episode there's going to be even more Dookie. Because it's shitty. Chris, you got a quick take for us?
Yeah, to go off of what Jay said, another way this movie might be really, really great is if it's 1996 and you're just getting, it's the very day you get home from Army and a couple friends pick you up and you meet some people and somehow you end up in a friend's basement, which sounds like it could go awfully wrong, but we just watched this movie and it was pretty fun. It was fun then, and I don't know, there are still some fun bits.
That sounds oddly familiar.
Now, is that how much of a gap there was? Because this came out in, 89 or something?
No.
93.
83?
93.
98?
93.
93. Okay, so that's less surprising, like a 3-year gap. Okay. Sorry.
You know, it is worth, I think, pointing out that this movie and then, 1, 2, 3 other Jason movies have come out since then, and that's it. There have not been, a ton of Jason Voorhees movies / Friday the 13th movies coming out lately. Lots of rights issues.
It's true.
Yeah.
They did a reboot, and the reboot, do you guys know about this reboot? Paul, have you seen it? You watch these things.
I have seen it. I've seen every Friday the 13th.
The 2013 one?
Yeah, it sounds, and maybe it's good, but it sounds like they shit and pissed mango-sized piss droplets all over the actual plot of the Jason movies.
Yep. The 2013 version is terrible. It's terrible.
It's not. It's, I think, 2009.
Is it 2000? No, the reboot was 2009?
Yeah.
It's terrible.
So, where are we headed?
We're going to Camp Crystal Lake.
Oh, yeah. Planning on smoking a little dope, having a little premarital sex, and getting slaughtered?
Well, this movie really does play with all the expectations of the whole Friday the 13th movie. It adds a lot of new elements. It kind of is a bit of a self-parody, but throws in a lot of shit that really goes against prior movies.
Yeah, the whole thing. The whole thing.
Real quick, it's a Creighton Duke sized plot hole because he's the answer for everything in the film, effectively.
Oh, dude, you could drive the Titanic through the plot holes in this movie.
Why? How does he know this shit? Do we know this? Is he an established character?
Well, he was in the previous movie.
Was he really?
Creighton Duke was not in the previous movie.
He wasn't? They act like he was.
Yeah, they act like it.
Right. No, there was supposed to be a subplot that got cut from the film. He was supposed to have a flashback where his girlfriend gets killed by Jason at Crystal Lake, and they cut that whole thing. So now it's just hanging out there that he says,
Son of a bitch, you remember me?
So he's supposed to have this long history with Jason, and in fact, the director on the commentary claims that, how Creighton Duke, spoiler, gets crushed at the end.
Yeah.
The director said he actually lives through that, and he wanted to do a spin-off movie with Creighton starring as the guy hunting Jason, which would have been awesome.
I actually appreciate that because the way that they killed Creighton, again, spoiler, kind of shitty.
Yeah, the whole ending just...
Well, it depends on how much you really feel like he needed a hug.
I thought Creighton was the best part of the movie. And
by
all
far.
he is an exposition machine.
Yes.
And he's still the best part of the movie.
Yeah,
Yes.
I agree.
I disagree.
You disagree that he's the best part of the movie or that he's an exposition machine?
Absolutely.
Why do you disagree?
He's he's a jerk.
That's also true.
Yeah,
It's fair.
that's
fair.
fair. He is.
Leslie Jordan is the best part of this movie.
You like his witty banter?
Yeah, I mean his little relationship that he's got going on with Rusty Schwimmer, the diner owners. Very nice.
Nothing wrong with that. That's fine.
Joey B.
I could see that. Although, why? Okay, we're just going to jump around. I'm not going plot by point on this. But Joey was later on in the movie, she's got the youngest living relative of Jason Voorhees, and she doesn't want to give that little bundle of sunshine back to her parents.
Well, she thinks her parents are crazy and one of them's a murderer.
True, yeah. So I guess we should really get into the movie.
Back it up.
Open fire! Everybody!
All right, well, Jason Voorhees drowned as a child in Crystal Lake.
You don't have to go that far back.
And he's still always portrayed as a full-grown person.
Okay, yes, thank you. Let's Chris, can we talk about this for a second?
Let's talk about that for more than a second.
Are we doing the whole mythology here? The whole?
No, here's what I was trying to figure out. Because, all right, here's the big thing with this movie, right? Jason gets killed at the very beginning. I mean, he gets blown up, right?
He goes...
This gets into the whole self-parody thing where you've got the lovely young woman alone in the cabin, runs a bath, you get a little nudity in there. Jason decides to attack her because he's probably thinking about premarital sex. And she lures him into a clearing where there is a shit ton of FBI agents.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they blow him up.
And they blow the shit out of him.
Which, okay, so let me make sure I understand this correctly. Their plan, the FBI's plan, was to put this woman into a cabin, make her strip and take a shower, and then like get out and like put a towel on, and then get attacked by Jason Voorhees, and then like fall over a railing onto a coffee table.
That wasn't part of it. That was just a lucky accident.
Oh, well, I'm so glad that happened because then she's able to escape outside, do a barrel roll, and have all of the FBI agents then shoot Jason. No one at any point thought, like, do we want to put an earpiece, in her so she can communicate a little bit better with what's going on inside the cabin? Like, why did all of this have to happen just to lure him? Like, I mean, why couldn't they have just shot him before all this?
I think it lures us.
Okay, yeah. I mean, okay, listen. The FBI are trained very well, and during training, they've watched all of the previous movies already, so they knew what they needed to do to attract Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
Paul, you hear that? You hear that sound? That's the Titanic coming through.
Yeah.
Here's another part of that creates the giant plot hole. So Jason, after he's blown up, I'm skipping ahead a little bit. Once he escapes, like he's escaping from the city coroner's office. Mm-hmm. Why is no one from the FBI interested or looking at all for the rest of the film? Like, if you got news, because it's on the news. It's a known thing that somebody...
There's a whole TV show about this.
Right. There's a whole TV show dedicated to this phenomenon of Jason. And the government, after that first scene, is gone. No one, no agent, no special agent, no guy like in the stuff who's hunting the stuff,
Well, nothing. I can forgive that to an extent because they literally blew him up. So they kind of figure that their job is done.
Exactly. And Jay?
Well, yes, but as soon as you hear that somebody has escaped the morgue and there's a bunch of dead bodies, somebody's going to come looking. That's all I'm saying.
Jay, look, what you also said was the G word, government. This is a government agency, okay?
Oh, the bureaucracy.
Your taxpayers don't go to blowing up someone twice. There's a one blow up per person, okay? That's what our tax dollars do, and I'm not paying my money into it so you can blow someone up twice.
Hey, keep your politics out of this podcast, pal.
Well, hey, I got one more political thing before we move on. Is I do not want my tax dollars paying for some god-awful coroner grabbing a still beating heart from a supernatural killer, looking at it all strangely, and just devouring it, thereby ingesting the soul of said supernatural killer.
This makes no sense.
None.
This coroner gets like under a spell or whatever. He's doing Jason's autopsy. Jason is in a million pieces. The heart starts beating. Okay, fine. I get it. Jason's, got some supernatural stuff going on. He's got a tough heart. He's been through some shit. Okay, cool. I'm thinking to myself that there's going to be a thing where, like, Jason's heart, like, something squirts out and hits this guy in the face, or like something, something that makes more sense. He eats the heart.
Yeah.
No, I just don't understand, because then for the rest of the movie, spoiler, Creighton Duke is like, we have to destroy Jason's heart. Well, this guy ate it. It's done. It's gone.
Done deal.
Yeah, it's like his physical body doesn't matter throughout the whole movie. He keeps what do you call it, borrowing throughout the entire film. And so, but for some reason, this physical heart does matter.
But why?
But this is the point in the movie where I did say, oh, I guess I do need to take notes. That's fucking wild. So I picked up my laptop and paused the movie, and I got my document up to do it, because I wasn't going to.
But this is what I was trying to get at earlier, Chris. I looked up some of the mythology of, like, when did Jason become full grown? Because Creighton Duke in this movie, he's like, oh, Jason hops bodies all the time. And I'm thinking to myself, did I just forget that this was a thing?
Nope.
No. So how does he even know that? Because that is not something that prior to this movie ever happened.
No, they lay a whole new mythology over top of Jason Voorhees. This movie, you could easily just remove Jason Voorhees from this movie and make it an alien.
Which is why people don't like this movie.
Yeah, you could if you made it an alien, it would be probably more enjoyable, to be honest, because you go into this with this preconceived idea. You've got, 8 other movies about what Jason Voorhees is. And then they're like, oh, guess what? Now he's a little creepy demon thing that crawls across the floor and slithers into people's mouths, and he jumps bodies by making out. He shaves guys. It's craziness now.
But none of it connects. None of it. The heart stuff doesn't connect. Oh, we have to destroy the heart. And then all of a sudden he's this creepy demon thing, but they're not saying that they have to destroy that necessarily. There's just no connection to any of it.
No.
Nope.
Okay, well, I'm glad we agree at least.
Yeah, no.
Okay, there is one way it could conceivably make sense.
If he was a fetus when he was drowned in Crystal Lake? Because that's an unfortunate possibility now.
If the whole... Okay, can I skip to the end? Can I use the ending in my theory, Chris?
Oh, yeah. Let's just go to the end. Yeah. Oh, totally.
Rating time.
Because everybody knows the big moment from this whole movie is when Freddy's glove comes up and pulls Jason's mask under the earth. The only way this movie could conceivably make sense within the established universe is if the whole thing is Jason's dream.
That would suck.
Somehow. Or Jason's nightmare that Freddy is piping into his head.
That does play into Freddy versus Jason, because a big chunk of that I thought was in Jason's dream. It's been a long time since I've seen it.
Yeah, like Freddy uses his dreams to manipulate it.
I thought this would have worked way better if they had just put Jason in it more. Like, you don't really need... Just eliminate the whole body hopping subplot and focus more on the plot of Jason is trying to kill the rest of his family members, because the whole thing is that only a Voorhees can kill a Voorhees. Also makes no sense at all, but at least focus on that.
In a Voorhees was he born. Through a Voorhees may he be reborn. And only by the hands of a Voorhees will he die.
And you know why that would work, Paul? Because you've already done a movie where Jason wanders around Manhattan. So it's not like people are gonna... It's impossible to make a movie where Jason in his body is wandering through a small town or something.
It also doesn't make any sense that, like, okay, we've had 8 movies prior to this. At no point, to my knowledge, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but at no point does Jason say, oh, I have to go find the rest of my family members so that no one can kill me.
Nope, doesn't happen.
It's just all of a sudden, part 9, oh, that's what we have to do now.
Yep. Oh, Creighton Duke is like, he's going to hunt you forever. No, he's not. He's been hunting other people for 8 movies. It's fine.
He doesn't know what he's doing.
No, he's just wanders.
Doesn't his mom kind of like run him, or he's got empathy? Like, his mom's good in the other movies or something?
No, the mom is the villain of the first movie. It's like Mama Voorhees is definitely evil.
But she controls him.
Yes. No, sort of. memory, sort of, like the image of her he has of her controls him.
I've only played the video game a bunch, so I know some lore through that.
They don't share the movie. They don't share a screen ever.
Well, they share a screen in the video game.
Mike, you're talking about 1989's Friday the 13th Nintendo Entertainment System video game?
$500 is my fee. And for that, you get the mask, the machete, the whole damn thing.
What about that campsite, huh?
What about it?
This is where, as you said, Chris, on Saturday, that there was nudity in it, and this is where it is.
Well, there's also the FBI agent. She gets naked.
You don't see anything.
Yeah, you do. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mike, you're wrong.
Oh, yeah.
I saw some boobies.
I saw a nip.
Can I ask something about that? Actually, her booby situation.
Sure.
She ran and like Paul said, fell off of a thing in a towel and then sprinted. The towel stays on the whole time, guys. I need the tips because my towel falls off constantly.
It's an FBI towel, Mike. They're designed
government issue towel
to stay on. Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking tax dollars go into that, huh?
That's right.
Fuck.
That is a $2,000 towel.
They knew that she would probably get attacked, when she put the towel on. So they put that NFL sticky, like whatever's on NFL players' gloves. They put that under the towel.
Probably some Kevlar in there in case he got a shot on the towel with the machete.
I think it's also why they gave her some sort of hobbit foot so she could run through the forest without hurting her delicate FBI agent feet.
Yes. That's also why as soon as she got done with this predicament, she had to have second breakfast.
Yep. And 11sies.
Well, with the 11sies, she probably had a delicious Voorhees burger.
Yep.
I could go for a Voorhees burger.
Hey, Ma! You really want me to cut these like this?
Yes, I do.
They look stupid.
Well, it's your own dumbass fault. They're supposed to look like hockey masks. Now watch. This makes a whole new patty. Hence, the 2-for-1 burger sale.
God, I love this woman.
Let's talk about the diner a bit.
All right.
So there's a diner that is kind of that Diana, well, she's not a Voorhees. She keeps that secret. But she is, what would she be? Jason's cousin, I guess?
I thought she was sister.
No, Jason's
niece.
niece.
Was it Jason's niece?
Yeah.
Yeah, because her mom is his sister.
Okay.
Aaron Gray of Buck Rogers.
Of Silver Spoons.
Silver Spoon and Buck Rogers.
Wait, Diana, I remember the character. Diana is what relation?
Jason's sister.
And then Debbie's the daughter, yeah? Or no?
Debbie is her daughter, so that's Jason's niece.
Right, okay.
Niece.
Okay.
We're introduced to Jason's extended family, really.
Yay, family gathering.
So you've got 3 generations of Voorheeses that don't say they're Voorheeses. There's Diana and Jessica, right? Jessica's her daughter?
I believe so.
Yes, and then she has a daughter named Stephanie.
Right.
The baby.
And Debbie's someone else.
You mean Debbie?
Well, there's a Debbie that they go, Debbie! In the movie, I don't know.
I was trying to make a Wet Hot American Summer joke. Didn't land.
Jessica had a baby with our hero Steven that is framed for Diana's murder that was actually done by a body-swapped Jason Voorhees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jason, keeps swapping bodies throughout the entire movie, right? So, he'll be in a body, something will happen, he'll attack someone. You see him in the mirror, it's kind of like Quantum Leap. You see his true self in the mirror. And then, that character gets killed, so Jason has to body hop again through the whole movie.
Is this a Freaky Friday movie?
A little bit of a freaky Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even think, the bodies necessarily die, because he switches bodies. This Jason is cunning, and he will change bodies when it suits his need by giving them a big open-mouth kiss with lots of demonic tongue.
And that's because that's what he hates, right? Or that's why he kills teens, because they're having sex and shit.
Probably.
Making out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's how he transfers bodies by a big old tongue kiss.
Yeah. So getting back to the diner is a little bit of exposition where Creighton Duke meets, he's promised this television station or this television show that for $500,000, he will deliver the mask, the machete, everything. And he knows that Diana is related to Jason.
I thought for sure, and admittedly, I haven't seen Jason Takes Manhattan in quite a while, but they set it up to where it sounds like he was in the previous movie and they're carrying him over to keep stalking Jason. I can't believe that this is his first appearance.
Yeah.
He dies by melting in toxic sludge in Jason Takes Manhattan.
Well, he dies
So-
in every movie, so.
Well, I know, but I mean, like, that's how he dies. So in this theory, he has a new body, but it is the same body from the movies.
None of it makes any sense.
Yeah, does he just like go to a mechanic shop every time and find some big guy to transfer body? Like, how does that even theoretically work?
Give us some lore, Mike.
I guess the idea is in 4 or something. I've read some Wikipedia shit, so fuck me if I get these numbers right. But at some time, and like 4 or something, they give him supernatural strength and regeneration and all that kind of stuff, right? Like they buff him up from just this undead, whatever he's supposed to be fucking thing.
Yeah,
right?
There's a mark where he becomes zombie Jason.
Yeah. The idea maybe would be, in this one, I thought at least, having not seen anything else, I was like, oh, but he has to get a new body now because he blew up, right? All the little pieces. But then I read that he just melts in toxic sludge. His body's gone in that point. So I don't know. The logic's gone.
Yeah.
There's never any consistent mythology on how he comes back.
Not really.
It's all over the place.
So in this one, it's Creighton Duke who comes in and says that through a Voorhees was he born, through a Voorhees may he be reborn, only through the hand of a Voorhees may he die, or some bullshit, which is completely new.
Yo, and where is that coming from?
Right.
Throughout the book, probably. What about that book? They show a book for 5 seconds.
It's the Necronomicon from Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Well, we got to talk about that a little bit, Chris.
Yep.
The thing I find most fascinating about this movie is, I mean, the plot's just whatever, and there's some fun bits, but there are so many like Easter eggs sprinkled everywhere from the Necronomicon to Freddy's glove at the end to the 2 gay cops rushing out of the police station basement.
What?
Were they toast fucking?
I don't know what's going on, but in the final scene in the cop station when the TV announcer has been possessed by Jason and they're calling for all the cops, 2 cops bust out of a door. One of them is wiping off his hands.
Yeah.
Another one following him is zipping up his pants.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
I didn't catch that.
It's just a little detail that, wait, what? But you also see the actual Necronomicon, which Adam Marcus, I believe, the director, got through Sam Raimi, because Army of Darkness was finished up not long before this, and he had an idea that Jason Voorhees is actually a Deadite. So we're not going to say Deadite, but we're going to show the actual Necronomicon.
So, I mean, he is, in interviews and stuff like that, he is more or less confirmed that is true, because you see the Necronomicon. I think the plan at some point, I mean, they did Freddy versus Jason, and I think they wanted to do one with Ash in there as well, which
they did.
Well, it's a comic book, right?
Yeah,
Well,
but
yeah.
You're right though. They wanted to. They for sure wanted to, because they made it.
Which
comic book
honestly,
release.
cool.
Yeah, that would
great.
have been fantastic.
I love, universes connecting and lots of established mythology and chest shaving.
That's why you loved Space Jam 2.
No, well, didn't see it. Cut that out, Chris.
Yeah, I'm leaving that in. Basically, all this is just Jason hopping from body to body. You get a really cool like body melting scene as he changes bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Why did he melt? Why did the sheriff melt after he
It was just like, oh, he's abandoned the body.
Yeah.
Let's melt him. Nothing. Who knows?
I mean, I'm fine with what I saw because it looked cool. But he already got his brains blown out before he became Jason and a bunch of other horse shit. And then he like falls over and you're like, oh, he did die after he made out with the other guy. And then he melts a lot and he screams for about 3 minutes while it happens.
It's a long melting scene.
It's great. It looks good.
It's pretty well done.
It looks great, but why is it happening? You could kind of say that about a lot of stuff in this movie.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Yeah. Paul, thank you. I don't want to let this podcast go by without pointing out the fact that Jason Voorhees straps a dude to a table and shaves him. Why?
Yeah. And he does it while he strips the guy nude first, and we don't even get to see that dick and hog. It is teeny wanger.
Does any of this occur? Why can't Jason be in a dude that has a beard? What?
And I mean, like, what is the rule for hair? Is it just facial hair? Like, did he already like shave the pubes downstairs before?
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
before shaving it upstairs?
yeah.
Or like how much body hair is too much body hair for Jason Voorhees?
Wait, Chris, are you saying that Jason thought the downstairs needs a sweeping?
Yes. Yes.
Nice inside joke.
I bet that guy already had it all shaved up for him.
He's waxed and everything.
I gotta go get a beer.
It only makes sense if Jason Voorhees is creeped out by his mouth touching facial hair. Like he can't take it.
Yeah? I mean, it's a different sensation, you know?
Yeah. So I believe that is now canon. That this movie has made that canon, that Jason Voorhees cannot kiss a guy with a beard.
There it is.
Can't kiss a guy with a beard. That's official canon now.
Oh, it's just so weird.
It's weird also, we're speaking about this body swapping he's doing, but it's also weird that he, in a reflection in a mirror, he shows up as Jason. So he'll be a different person, and then you see, and they do it, what, once? No, maybe it's twice.
It's a couple times. You see his reflection, like, because it comes in to play when he's trying to kill
vampire rules.
Yeah, well, it comes into play when he kills Diana. Steven is there to our hero comes in to meet Diana because she's got a secret to tell him or some bullshit. And Jason shows up in the form of the shaved police officer, and there's a big fight, and he ends up killing Diana. But he's distracted momentarily by his reflection in the mirror.
Which is the actual vision that he is used to seeing, and somehow he's thrown off by it.
He's never seen a mirror.
He's like, dude, I am ugly.
Jason drowned in a lake. You're telling me when he rose from the dead and climbed out of this lake, he didn't look back in the water and see his reflection in the still waters of the lake?
Crystal Lake is gross. Not good reflection.
Oh, okay, well, that makes sense. I get it now. I get why he'd be so stunned at his reflection when he thought he was this beautifully shaven, smooth-skinned police officer, and he sees this nasty, growth-infested hockey mask dude. I get it now. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, also hairless though. So
Can I just want to just reiterate something I think Paul said earlier about, like, this movie would have just been so much cooler if it just would have been Jason. Like, the whole town was expecting Jason to show up, right? Like, everybody figured he's coming back. Just have him come back. Just have him come back, and the town people are freaked out when they see him, and he kills them. Like, you don't have to do the body swapping thing.
Yeah, I mean, picture you're a 17, 18-year-old kid, whatever, in 1993. You hear that there's a new Friday the 13th coming out, and you want to go see it with your girlfriend in the theater or whatever.
Right.
You want to see some Jason. I mean, he's just not in it enough.
But when he does show up, he makes a hell of an entrance.
Okay, that's true.
There's a scene where it's the first guy, the coroner, he takes over. And I just want to bring this up because Paul talked about this earlier, and I don't want to forget it. But there's a scene where these young folk are camping. It's where they've been skinny dipping, and then two of them go off to fuck in a tent while the other one listens, much like Bad Chicken. And Paul, apart from the fact that this guy like acts grossed out by a condom, so this whole thing's gonna lose 5 points because of this sort of gross thing where they're portraying safe sex as anyway. So I'm taking 5 points off for that scene. But Paul, during that scene, other than that, Paul, what stands out about that scene to you?
Whoa. That there's some pretty realistic thrusting.
No.
Oh, well, that's what stood out.
Oh, but what's thrusting? Fine, let's play this game. What are they thrusting?
Penis and vagina.
Okay, and what do they call the penis?
The Wonder Llama.
Come on, let's do it.
You think you're ready for Tony the Wonder Llama?
Tony?
Yeah.
The Wonder Llama.
Cloaca?
Now, do we know he calls his penis Tony the Wonder Llama?
Well, he calls himself Tony the Wonder Llama. I don't know that his...
It's talking about his penis.
Oh, is his name not Tony? Is that the name of his penis?
And the reason he calls it that is because the dog we see later in the movie named Tango in the film's real name is Tango the Wonder Dog. He calls his penis the name of the dog that's on set.
I don't know if I believe that.
I'm not joking. This is not where I pretend.
Are you saying that was like improv?
I don't know if it's improv or a joke on set, so they wrote it in, or what it is, but it's losing 5 points because it's disgusting that you named your dick after a dog, and I feel real bad for that dog.
Wait a minute.
And there should be a website where you can learn if a dog dies in the movie and if someone calls their dick the name of the dog.
So, Mike, so you're more pissed about that than the fact that Tony the Wonder Llama, he hates those condoms. And so the girl is like, okay, and she throws it outside. Well, she throws it away, which somehow, through a zipped-up tent, ends up outside, and Jason, in the body of the coroner, steps on it as he
No,
gets to
I'm
kill
more
him.
upset when he goes, oh, I'm so confused how it works. Just fuck me without a condom. And she's like, oh, it is complicated, right? You got to tear along that one edge. Ugh. That's why I lost 5 points before, because it's fucking disgusting.
I have to disagree with you on this.
What? That's not how the scene plays out, or you're cool with that?
No, I think you're missing the point of what they were trying to do.
What?
They're trying to say, look, it's 1993. You still had, plenty of things going on where safe sex, there was a lot of talk about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying, hey, kids, you gotta do safe sex because look what happens if you don't.
That's a possibility.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jason will ram a spike through your chest. Yeah, it's definitely a commentary on the morality of the whole situation.
Absolutely, which in every Friday the 13th movie there is, and this takes it up a notch where they're basically saying like, oh, they were so close to having safe sex and Jason probably would have let it slide if they had.
It's so much deeper than I thought.
But they didn't, and so they got killed, which also, by the way, freaking great kill scene right there too. That girl gets like sliced.
It's also very pointless. Like, this is another part of the movie that does not need to be in the movie.
Well, no, but I mean, it's classic Friday the 13th.
Sure.
It's sort of the setup for...
It's probably the most pure Friday the 13th moment of the whole movie.
I wonder if the movie's very self-aware, I think, in that sense, too, because, the FBI raid at the beginning, they knew what to do, and they knew they needed, like, a woman getting undressed alone in a cabin, and there's a problem with the light. Like, they knew that stuff. So I feel like the screenwriter was like, oh, we're going to do this, like, super cliche part here.
And then put a new twist on it. That's why...
Yeah.
It's like... It's kind of a no-win situation with this movie, because it's the 9th movie in the franchise. You can kind of feel like they wanted to do something different with it because it had been done so many times before. So it's like a half parody, half like, oh, well, let's completely reinvent the character. And just, for me, none of it really worked very well.
Well, they reinvent the wrong part. Jason X is fucking great because they swing really hard. Like, this one swung, like, it just bunted it over to another type of movie, basically.
Right.
They just copied The Borrower. But Jason X is like, we're going to go to space. We're going to do this fucking... We're going to make it... They fucking Fast and the Furious it into something completely else.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think that works better than this one.
While keeping Jason in it.
Yes. Oh, Jason's throughout, and it's great. He even gets a new ability that doesn't make sense, but it's fine, because it's fun.
Well, we haven't really talked much about the exposition of this movie and our hero, Steven, and how he finds out what exactly needs to happen in this movie to stop Jason.
Yes.
So he ends up in prison next to Creighton Duke. They've both been arrested. Creighton Duke for being an asshole in the diner, and Steve for being framed for the murder of Diana, his ex-girlfriend's mother. And so, Jay, tell me how Steven finds out what he needs to know about Jason. And surely it didn't cost him much.
Well, okay. All right, look. So Creighton is there in the jail, and he claims he's the only one who knows how to truly kill Jason. And Steven needs to know this because it's like his baby mama and baby. That's what's at stake here. So Creighton says, hey, that information's very expensive. Are you ready to pay?
See, everything and everyone has a price. And the cost of this is very, very high. Are you ready to pay?
What's the price?
Are you ready to pay?
Yes.
Oh, fuck! Like just a weird, sadistic dude, he makes Steven stick his hand through the bars, and for every question that he answers, he breaks one of his fingers for no reason.
Well, the information.
It doesn't help anything. It doesn't help anything or have any purpose other than the fact that Creighton is a total creep.
I thought for sure, I'm like, okay, well, he's doing this for a reason. So, like, Jason can't use his hand for something or whatever. Like, Creighton knows so much about Jason that there's a purpose behind this. Nope.
The only thing that made sense, and this is after the third time I've seen this movie, the only way it kind of, like, you can rationalize it is that Steven needed a reason to get out of the cell. Like, he needed some kind of, like, story to get his buddy to let him out, and so Creighton kicking his ass and breaking his fingers.
You could just say that he broke your fingers.
Right, you could. Or Creighton could just be like, hey, okay, we're going to work together, and this is what we're going to do. But he doesn't. He, in the moment, acts like a total weirdo and makes this kid let him break his fingers. It doesn't make any sense.
This is the scene I remembered and then went, oh yeah, Paul's right. This guy sucks.
Yeah, he's an asshole the whole time. And for no reason, he's like, okay, if you're going to go kill Jason and you know how to do it, do it. You don't have to be a pompous ass about it the entire time.
Well, and what point does it serve to get arrested in such a silly way? Like, he's just a jerk in the diner, which is what
Right.
the sheriff is like, okay, you're done. You're going to jail. How does that help your goal?
I will say that he does actually have the best part of the movie, which we haven't touched on yet, and it's the line that he gives during his interview. What is it, Jay?
What is it?
Yeah. You posted some sort of fan-made image of the line earlier.
Yeah. He says, somebody's asking Creighton a question, and they're like, what do you think about when you hear the name Jason Voorhees? And he says, I think about a little girl in a pink dress sticking a hot dog through a donut. What? And the writer of the film, who, by the way, is the guy who says the mango-sized crap line, that's the writer. One of the writers.
Oh, that's him?
He said the only reason that is in there is because he thought it was funny. He said it makes no sense, but he just thought it was funny to have Creighton say that line.
That checks out, then. He's right. It's really funny. It's really funny.
It is.
That's why he is a stand-up comedian and a writer of comedies. Yep, real funny line.
Mike doesn't find it funny. It's so stupid and so bad that it becomes funny.
I just don't like pedophilia much.
Yeah.
What's wrong with sticking
it's a little girl doing it. That's the whole image he's painting.
It could be a little food play. No big deal.
Chris, cut this part out.
No, the little girl's the problem, not the food.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Woo!
Let's talk about the end of the movie. There's a whole deal in the diner that's in slow motion, I think purely to pad the movie out to feature film length.
The girl in this movie that I had a crush on gets killed at the end here. Can't remember her name, but...
Oh, the friend?
Friend.
She has probably the best kill of the movie, don't you think? Or the best death?
No.
Oh, man, it's pretty good, though.
The girl in the tent at the beginning is gnarly.
Well, this friend, she stands up to Jason. I'm trying to remember. I think she hits him with the shotgun, and then he gets impaled, and then Jason grabs her and impales her on the same bar that he's impaled on, like a piece of rebar or something. And she's still like, like...
And then, crushes her head and her head pops.
Yeah.
So, it's unfortunate.
Yeah. So, she's up, she ranks up there.
Yeah, but the problem is, the very next shot cuts to her friends standing there with a gun watching the whole thing happen.
Very helpful.
Could have easily been prevented.
Well, Jessica can help Jason be reborn, so she doesn't want to get anywhere near that shit. And Steven is trying to look out for Jessica and get their baby back, who has been kidnapped by Creighton Duke, who escaped from jail in the earlier...
My baby, my baby, my baby, my baby.
Oh, boy.
My baby, my baby!
Get her out here!
My baby, my baby!
So then we get to the end of the movie at the Voorhees house, where Creighton Duke has left a note for for Jessica that he's got her baby. Meet her there, and we get the whole exposition about how only a Voorhees can kill Jason, and she and her baby are the only ones left. Jason shows up. There's a whole fight for a little bit, and then Jason ends up in the basement, and they realizes that the TV host had hidden Diana's dead body there, her corpse, for the TV show, which prompts Steven to ask,
Duke, that part about being reborn through a Voorhees woman, does it have to be a living woman? Duke, that thing's in the basement with Jessica's mother.
Holy Mother of God.
and then we get the most badass Jason jumping through the floor. This is like rock star entrance. It's amazing.
That was pretty cool.
And then it's pretty much your standard, like, supernatural fight at the end of all horror movies.
Yeah, because it's actually Jason.
Yeah, Steven hangs with Jason way more than he should have. Like, Steven would have been a smear on the ground by all rights from Jason, but he somehow survives.
I don't know. They kind of made it's Kane Hodder in this movie with his third Friday the 13th movie.
I think so, yeah. Third or fourth.
I mean, obviously he's a big guy, but I don't really feel like they framed him in a way that made him look way bigger than anybody else.
They kind of did in this scene for like a minute of it, when for an entire minute they're trying to get a knife from under the couch, in high strung style. Just fucking get it. Like it's infuriating. But he is much taller than them while they're bent over trying to reach in this giant I hate it. -5 more points because it was so annoying, this whole scene.
Will you add 5 points because I explained the condom situation? Are we back to just negative
Your condoms?
5?
No, I don't buy the condom. Paul, I loved it. I wish that was
bullshit.
true, but I don't trust that it's true. From the guy who made a little girl doing sex gestures with a donut joke, I don't trust that was the point.
Wait, you're not taking off negative 5 points for that, but just for the condom thing?
Fine, another 5 points off.
Shit.
Wait, Mike, does your score get affected by the fact that before Jason bursts through the floor, the little demon Jason thingy creature, you just see it fly right into Diana's crotch?
Oh, it does adjust my score, but it gets +5 points.
What
for
kind of
that.
noise do you think that made, Mike?
Anything with the little demon baby just gave me fucking surprise seventh curse flashbacks of suddenly there's the little demon thing. And so I was into that. So that gives it a +5.
All right, Chris, to answer your question, it should have been a slide whistle.
Wait a minute. Okay, so we see this demon creature come out of the host body. I am assuming that this is supposed to be quote unquote the real Jason.
Yes.
The little thing, the little
We're back into
the
this?
little homunculus crawling across the floor.
Okay. Now, have we ever seen this thing before in any of the other movies?
No. I like to think that in Friday the 13th Part 2, that's like you've got this like I've never seen Friday the 13th Part 2, but I imagine Jason. I understand he didn't have the hockey mask yet. He was just like a big hulking body with like a bag, like a burlap sack over his head.
Yes. Like
you've got the big body, and coming out of the neck under the bag that you never see is this little demon baby creature. It's just a demon.
Just the demon baby is only in the burlap sack, and the rest of it is like a mannequin or something. Oh God, it makes no sense. Because in the first movie, I don't want to get too deep into this, but obviously in the first movie, Jason is like a little boy, right? He jumps out of the water. It's a very famous scene. And then in the second movie, it's like 10 years later or whatever, so he's older. Okay, fine, he's bigger.
I've read that it could actually be 2 weeks later.
2 weeks later, whatever, he's older. But there's never any of this little homunculus talk, ever.
No,
stupid.
Never. He's just a little piggy.
They watched Uninvited, one of the greatest films ever made, and they watched a little alien cat climb out of a cat puppet's mouth, and they said, we got to do that for this movie.
Oh, they watched Decadent Evil, and they're like, holy shit, this is great.
Oh,
Nobody gets that. It's a Charles Band movie. We met him once.
I'd love to see proof of that. I don't really believe.
Yeah, you know what? That's funny you should say that, Chris. We did meet him.
Really?
We did meet the guy who inspired the homunculus.
Not buying it until I see some proof, like a picture of some sort.
Fine. All right, we'll post the picture on our website so everybody knows that Paul and I actually met Charles Band. God. I understand your desire for proof.
Oh, God.
Rating time.
Rating time? We didn't even talk about how we died.
All right. Well, okay. The ending is so like by the numbers.
Who cares?
It's terrible.
Like Steven's kicking, like you said, Jay. Steven is more than holding his own against Jason, getting his butt kicked a little bit. Jessica eventually gets the knife, stabs Jason. I don't know. Some demon hands come up from under the ground and start pulling him under, and then.
Oh, for as much garbage, as much as we went into some of these scenes, we're just.
Oh,
it doesn't matter.
Oh,
I do have a question about this. Okay, so like all this happens, Jason gets killed, right? Who stabs him?
Jessica, and this is my big problem with it.
Jessica.
It's the framing, the dramatic intent is just not. It's not happening. She runs up behind him while like he's tipping over a monkey bars or something.
It's true. I forgot.
He does.
Fucking Christ.
Reaches over his. Yeah, he reaches over his shoulder and stabs him in the chest. It's very like mundane. Walks up. Jason's done.
But then, like, he's like, oh, I got stabbed. And all these, like, pulsing orange light things shoot out of him up into the sky. What's that?
It's a night beast thing.
Well, those are the things. Night beast. Well, those are the things when the coroner ate the heart in the earlier scene. There were a bunch of, like, orange lights that flew out of the body parts into the coroner. So presumably they're fleeing to...
Space?
Well, Jason X.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so many things where you're like, if you stop and pay attention to what's happening, you're like, who signed off on this? What is happening?
Oh, the whole movie's like that.
Right. Like some producer read this and was like, yeah, all right, we'll give money.
Well, it's the guy who created Friday the 13th. I think he's the original writer-director. Yeah.
Sean Cunningham.
He was the producer on this and gave Adam Marcus a chance because, like, he was his son's best friend or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Marcus was like 23 when he did this movie. Fresh out of film school.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think this was like Sean Cunningham's return to the the franchise.
Yeah.
Whoops.
And Adam Marcus was fired also.
Oh yeah, during production?
Yeah, they used about 45 minutes of his footage and then reshot a bunch of stuff.
This was the reshoot? Jesus.
Yeah, it was worse. It was 130 minutes and it was worse.
Oh God, a 2-hour version of this. I can't even comprehend.
Yeah. Adam Marcus got into a fight with Jessica because there's the scene where she's in the shower crying, right?
Yeah.
Well, evidently she's really crying because the water is so hot. It's like burning her. And he wanted her to do the scene nude, and she's like, no, I'll wear like a bodysuit and everything. And he kept telling all the producers and like the cast, like, I'll get her to do it. I'll get her to do it.
Wow.
And was like pressuring her to do it to the point where she walked off. Like they got into it. That was one of the things.
Not how that works. You figure that out before you start shooting the movie.
Of course.
I read that this caused her to quit acting.
Yeah. And so she quit because of this horrible experience with this 23-year-old dipshit who tried to force her to be nude when she didn't want to be.
Speaking of, you don't want her nude in the scene because no one wants to see a nude anyone crying in desperation. That's just not the mood of a tit or a dick. You don't want that.
That's not the mood of a tit.
No, it's not. You want to see fun things happening. Not I am Tobias Funke crying in a shower. Just you don't like nothing sexy about that. You don't want that's not the scene for nudity.
That's the mood of a tit.
Rating time.
All right. In honor of Mike's amazing performance on tonight's episode, we are going to rate this movie from 1 to 100 tit moods. Thank you, Mike. We can go crying tit moods.
Well, and now you can't cut any of that, Chris. This rating is going to make no sense.
All right, Mike. Since you're the
first,
well, you came up with a rating scale.
Yeah, I guess I did accidentally.
What did you think of Jason Goes to Hell?
It's fine. It's not very scary, which is fine because I don't like jump scare movies kind of stuff. So I was actually happy that it wasn't, because I'm a little baby in that way. But it's just not that interesting. They try to do some stuff, whatever. So, I mean, if I was gonna give it, say, like a 79, I gotta take away a couple points I had marked out through the episode. 5 for that, 5 for that, 5 for that. So it's 64.
All right.
Did I do the math right?
Close enough.
I don't think so.
79. That's actually right.
B Movie Mania. It's not B Movie math class, Paul. We're going 64. Mike's got his rating.
Oh, okay.
All right, Paul. For that outburst, you get to go next.
I mean, I kind of agree. You know, I didn't hate watching it by any means. I wasn't like offended or anything. It's just in terms of Jason movies, it just wasn't my favorite thing ever. There's plenty other better entries out there, Chris, which you should definitely check out at some point. I'll give it 42 Voices of Despair.
All right, Jay, what did you think of this one?
Well, I have fond memories of this just because of that story we told earlier about picking you up from the army and then randomly ending up in our friend's basement watching this. So that's a fun memory, and that was the first Friday.
What friend would that be?
John Thompson, friend of the show, John Thompson, frequent commenter, John Thompson.
Thanks for listening, John.
Thanks, John.
Really appreciate it.
John.
So he was there and he hosted this, and he doesn't remember, from what I understand at all, that we did this, but we did. So, and it was the first Friday the 13th movie I saw. So, I have a fond memory, but rewatching it again, it just would have been such a better movie if it wasn't a Friday the 13th movie. If it was just a different borrower type alien, you could have made something out of it. The new mythology over the old stuff just does not work at all.
Or if they would have just cut that out and put Jason in it the whole time.
Yes. Either way, if they'd have gone either way, this middle ground they took did not work for me. And believe it or not, I have written down 64. I'm giving it 64 mango-sized craps.
That's right. Chris, what about you?
So my memory of this movie is a lot better than what I thought of revisiting it, because it was such a great time, because it's my first day back from Army and hanging out with friends that I haven't seen in 3 years, randomly ending up in a basement watching this movie for some reason. I no clue how or why that happened, but it was a fun night. Rewatching it, I mean, there are some fun bits, but I will also say that the pacing of this movie is really weird. Mm-hmm. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of all over the place. It's slow, but some parts are kind of fast. I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. I don't have the vocabulary to describe this movie effectively. I'm going to give it 69 tit moods.
Yeah, nice. Nice.
Chris, when you got mad at me for reviewing Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X on tonight's double feature, which you should check out on YouTube, I thought that you were mad at me for picking Jason X. And I really didn't think that this was going to be the movie that we were going to be reviewing tonight. But I have to be honest with you, I'm a little happy that it is this one, because if you don't mind, I'm going to do something right now. Yes.
No. Holy shit, no.
Official selection for B Movie Marathon 10.
Nice.
Is going to be Jason X. We're going to do this thing, baby.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
There it is.
Hell yeah.
Very rare that I make an official selection this early.
Wow.
I mean, we got a long ways to go at this point. Yeah.
Well, that will be is it the 10th annual?
It's the 10th marathon,
right,
Jason
yeah.
X. We have to do it.
That's the math
do
works.
Yeah. So I think that means we've got the 10th installment block. That's what we're doing. We have to pick the 10th part to a series.
Paul, don't you have another announcement?
I do have another announcement. Whenever Chris wants me to make it.
On the next episode of B-Movie Mania...
Paul, I think you're up next with the season finale of Season 5 of B-Movie Mania.
You knew this was going to happen. You all knew at some point this was going to happen, and now that day is finally here. One of the most hated, most critically panned, and one of the most misunderstood sequels of all time. Bust out your reading glasses, boys.
Shrek 2.
Because for the season finale and for this year's Halloween special, we are cracking open the Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2.
Wow.
Oh, shit. It's my favorite fucking movie.
And we're going to be joined by a Blair Witch expert. From the Miserable Hair People, Kevin Meeker.
Oh, nice.
After all these years.
Holy shit.
Will be leading the prosecution. Yes, that's right. You heard me correctly. The prosecution.
So witch hunt.
What?
I hope you guys have brushed up on your legal terminology.
Objection.
For B-Movie Mania's first ever courtroom drama episode.
Oh, boy.
For the Blair Witch 2?
What? Paul, I don't even know which is which, legal or illegal. I don't even know which one is good or bad.
It's going to be very confusing, so you're going to have to brush up on your legal stuff. Blair Witch 2 is available for free on Tubi, or you can watch it on Stars if you have Stars.
Okay.
Well, fucking shit.
Yeah. You're like, oh, God.
Oh, wow.
Well, thanks, listeners, for tuning in once again to B-Movie Mania. While you wait for the Blair Witch 2 episode, why don't you hop on over to our website at bmoviemania.com and buy a t-shirt.
Get that new Slade
Creighton.
What is it?
Slade Creighton.
Slade Creighton.
Slade Creighton, Dukes.
Love that design, Paul.
I would love
It's
that.
not happening.
And once you've bought the t-shirt, then go to your favorite podcasting service, which I guess iTunes is the only one that lets you rate podcasts, right? I don't even know. I don't listen to podcasts.
I'm sure you can do it on Google Play, I imagine. Who knows?
Hop on over to Google Play and give us some stars, please.
So, hey, listeners, go there, see if you can rate us, and let us know if it's possible.
Yeah. In the review, let us know if you were able to do it.
And we will read it live on,
like literally click the stars and instead of having to think of some sort of nice, clever thing to put in the free text box, which you are allowed to leave empty, but don't. Just write in, yes, I was able to do it.
Yes, and then we'll read it.
That's all.
We'll read it on the next episode.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
I'll see you boys in court.
Yeah, I'll see you on Instagram and Facebook and all that shit too.
Oh yeah, go by Instagram.
Overruled.
Go to Facebook.
Goodbye. Farewell.
Sustained.
Listen up, maniacs. Do you have a question or a comment? Would you like to send some bourbon to Uncle Lloydie? You can contact the gang on Facebook at B-Movie Mania. You can also drop them a line at bmoviemania.com. Reach out. Touch them. They're touching themselves. And they might just reach back. I'm Lloyd Kaufman saying, see you next time on B-Movie Mania. Woohoo!
Mike won't start bars and tone. The new bit.
Bars and tone.
I did it 4 times.
It's like a dog whistle. Only dogs can hear that bars and tone.
Can we make this not a long episode?